Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at how we can make regular API calls to Anthropic's new model, Claude 3. We'll also take a look at how we can make streaming calls and look at some of the interesting things of the API, such as how to set system message. And we'll also look at the Claude Unified API class that I have created, which handles history automatically for you, along with history length, and you can even set soft max word per message instruction instead of using max tokens, which simplifies the chat process or the API call process. You simply just initiate the class and just chat with it. And towards the end, we'll take a look at its reasoning capabilities with a test that I performed towards the end of the video. Let's start with the regular call. You need the pip install Anthropic term color for colorful printing, which the Claude Unified uses. After you pip install Anthropic, you import it and you initialize it just like you would with OpenAI. And you make a call to it. This time you're making a client.messages.create. This is your model name. You can change this to Sonnet if you want, the smaller model. Now, important thing is that when you're making this API call, you do have to set the model, mix tokens, and the messages parameter. System message is optional, but when you don't set the system message and the messages list, but you set it as a parameter, just like this. And when you're receiving the response, you look for response.content, the first element, and .text. So when we actually make a call like this, we're going to get a response from Claude 3 Opus to a message called Hello Claude, and it says, nice to meet you, how can I assist you? So the regular Claude and the streaming Claude API will be available for free at my Patreon, and the Claude Unified and the main API that actually utilizes that will be available at connoisseur level at my Patreon. Links will be in the description. To do a streaming call, we do exactly the same, except we set streaming to true. And while we are receiving the stream, which is going to be a generator object, we loop over it after we set an empty string to initialize so we can append to it. We check if there is a content block delta. If that's true, we print it. We print the event.delta.text with and flush parameters so we can see it nicely on the terminal, and then we append it to responses. So if this was a function, we can return it. And when we run this, we'll see that we're going to be able to get, okay. Currently, the API is pretty overloaded. Sometimes you get these errors. Just if you get an overloaded error, just try again. And here we go. We're getting a JSON response because we actually have set a, let's try this again because we didn't really, we did say here respond as a JSON object. We just want to say, sorry, my message head responds as a JSON object, so it did do that. So that's good to know. We'll explore that in another video. But as you can see, when we run it, we get streaming responses. There we go. If you're enjoying my content, check out my website, echohive.live. Link will be in the description. There you can find over 250 free coding videos. And if you like the Unified Cloud class we're going to talk about, you can actually watch the video on OpenAI Unified. And I have quite a lot of videos that deal with that class that just simplifies your life as well. And if you're a patron, you can find the code download links here as well. Now let's take a look at the really simplified version of this. See, when we use the Claude Unified, like I said, everything is handled for you automatically, and you can set different parameters such as streaming true or not. And when I just run this after initializing Claude, and all I have to do is just claude.chat, and we are getting a response right away. We are getting a long story. And actually break out of this. Let's clear this. Let's ask it to tell a story about AI, but only 2 sentences. First, we're initializing the class. And then here is our story. And it was pretty short because we said only about 2 sentences. Now, the beautiful thing about Claude Unified is that it handles the mixed history words, mixed per message, model selection, and history, setting the system message, for example. And it handles the messages for you automatically. So you can actually set, for example, mix history words to, let's say, 0. So it'll actually forget. It won't keep any messages in its history. And we can set a while loop just to continue chatting with it. So now when we start this, we can say, hi, my name is Echo. Let's see what it says. Okay, now because we set the max history to 0, if we say, what is my name, it won't remember. So when we ask, what's my name, it says, I apologize for the confusion. Now, while doing this, I actually realized something different about the Claude API because I got this error that the first message in the messages list must be a user. So I modified the Claude Unified to add a user message if while we're dropping messages during the trimming of the message history, if the first message is an assistant, it'll automatically insert a user message saying you're a helpful assistant. So that's Actually, they should, maybe this is almost like a bug, perhaps. Maybe they'll fix it over time. But because we set the max history words to 0, then it doesn't have any memory. But if we actually set it to, let's say, 100 or 1000 even, then it will actually have memory. So now when we chat with it, let's say, hi, my name is Echo. And then we were to ask, what is my name? It should now remember. Your name is Echo. So it automatically manages the history for you. You can also set the system message as you need to set the system message in the parameters. For example, we can say only respond with emojis in the following JSON object and run the same thing again with that system message. We can say hi, and now it should respond as a JSON object, just like that. We can also set a max word per message parameter. So if you remember, when we asked it to tell us a story about AI, it was going on really long, but max word per message actually is a soft limit. So now when I ask, tell me a story about AI, the model is actually instructed to respond within this parameter, within this limit. Now this is a better approach than perhaps mixed tokens, because mixed tokens will just cut it off. This way actually we can set it to like 1 and run it, or maybe just 3. And run it with 3, and then it'll still respond with 3 words. That makes sense. AI conquers world. See, it's a full sentence. If you want it, you can still set mixed tokens parameter here. That's no worries. Like we can set mixed tokens to 1. This cloud chat method takes in. Now because we set the mixed tokens to 1, even though mixed words per message was 3, our message got cut off after a single token. You can also set streaming to true or false. So this will be available at my Patreon at the connoisseur level. You can actually just observe it and see what's possible with it. I'm setting the mixed tokens to 4000 unless you specify otherwise, because Claude do require the mixed tokens parameters to be set. So if you like this, you can download the Claude Unified from my Patreon and start building apps with Claude really easily. It also has an add message method, which you can specify a role, assistant or user, along with the input, which we're taking from the chat loop. And it also has a get response method, which you can pass in parameters such as mixed tokens if you want it. So you can use it either with the chat method or get response method. This should automatically print when we run this. And you can also assign both the output of the chat method and get response to a variable. There we go. I also want to talk about an interesting experiment I did, running some logic problems through it, this one, in essence. And it did actually really well. It actually answered correctly, 51 times correct and 69 times incorrect. And the best I could get GPT 3.5 to perform was like, I think 26 or 27. This is using a bunch of different system messages. If you want to watch that video, you can watch the Can We Improve GPT's Logical Reasoning. This video right here, Can We Create the Perfect Logician, which actually uses OpenAI Unified class, which you can take a look, and this code will be available at Patreon too, under that video. So I'll make a separate video using the Claude evaluation. I had to do it in sequence, but I'll work on this code and make a separate video. But the first results is very promising. That Sonnet version, okay, by the way, I should say this wasn't even Opus, this was Sonnet. So comparing to 3.5 Turbo, it got almost twice as many correct answers. And this problem was interesting problem, which is broken down to sentences, and each time the sentences were shuffled. So each time it answered the same question, but the sentence is being shuffled. So this is very promising. I'll be doing more testing on this. Also check out my AutoStreamer project, which allows you to auto-create educational content. You can record it, live stream it, use it for yourself. It automatically builds a website while it's doing it. There's a live stream at the website you can watch where I display its capabilities. And you can visit a sample website that it has built. So it actually creates educational content and creates a website which you can then deploy. At the end of the live stream, I also showcase how you can deploy it at Railway, and I've done it. This is currently available at my Patreon shop for $200. Version 3 will be released probably in a week or two. I'll let you guys know here on YouTube and also at my Discord. So this is it. This is really exciting. I'll be creating more videos around Claude. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.